those of you that are getting your drinks, feel free to continue, but you have about a minute and a half. Thank you. I know we have a big Purdue group, so go ahead and take your photo real quickly. Take your time. We've got people at the bar. We don't want them not to get their drinks. Why don't I move out of the way and you can get the photo over by the picture if you want? While we're waiting for everyone to get to their seats, I'd like to remind you to please turn off or silence your cell phones or any other electronic devices. Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Melissa Stanley James, and welcome to the 2025 Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame Women's Awards and Induction Banquet. It's so great to see so many families, friends, and former teammates, coaches, all here to celebrate this year's honorees. Tonight's banquet is a celebration of Indiana's basketball heritage and a reunion of its greatest athletic stars. This evening, we will honor the newest class of inductees, the Indiana Fever Silver Medal recipient, the Silver Anniversary Team, comprised of 18 of Indiana's best high school senior players from 25 years ago, the recipients of the Center Circle Officials Award, and the 4 state championship teams from 2000. The 1A Triton, coached by Mark Heater. The 2A Fort Wayne Bishop Lures, coached by Gary Andrews. 3A Indianapolis Cathedral, coached by Linda Bamrick. And the 4A Ben Davis, coached by Stan Binge. It is my honor to introduce the procession of this year's honorees. We begin with the Center Circle Officials honorees. The late Joe Gilliland is represented by friend of the family and longtime girlfriend, Darla Red Anderson. Donnie Whitlow. And Kim Yelich. Our 2025 Silver Anniversary team, we begin with Natalie Ute from Portage High School. Anna Wow from Franklin Community. Lynn Johnson-Thomas from Cordon Central. Lindsay Seacrest from Bloomfield. Abby Charlo from New Albany. Jessica Brock Peelman from Rising Sun. Amy Owsley Out from Marion Lakefield Christian. Sarah Nord from Jeffersonville. Lauren Daly Martin from West Vigo. Connie Myers Klein from Columbia City. Jessica Ryder Horvath from Mishawaka Penn. Kirsty Holloway from New Washington. John Goff from Mount Vernon, Fortville. Karen Force Spurgeon from Columbus East. Jennifer M. Deshawn from Perry Meridian. Sarah Strom Corbin from Ben Davis. Lee Carr Bavard from North Harrison. And Susie Hamill Albert from Lebanon, Lafayette, Jefferson. Our 2025 Hall of Fame inductees. We begin with Lori Cassetter Walton from Warren Central. Sylvia Spicer from Greencastle. Carrie Mount Raleigh from Bedford North Lawrence. Chris Booker Westrali from Bedford North Lawrence. I'm sorry, from Fort Wayne Snyder. Sorry about that. That's okay. Carolyn Piper, who coached at South Knox. She might have gone to North, but she coached at South. Dave Miller, who coached at Belmont and Fort Wayne Concordia Lutheran. Martha Rendell, who graduated from Thornton and is living in Zionsville, being accompanied by her husband of over 55 years. Alan Morowski from Mount Vernon, Fortville. Kelly Kamora from Lake Central. Melina Griffin from Anderson. Megan Bugoslawski from Michigan City Elston. And Sarah Armington from Anderson. I would like to recognize our deceased inductees who are also being honored here later on this evening. Tom Earlywine, Ruth Hutchins Parker, Doris Myers Richards, Marcia Snow, and Sally McGregor Ward. If you could give all these people, these famous people, a round of applause. Thank you. Wow, this is some great athletes, I'll tell you what, and coaches. I'm honored to be up here with them. Join our honorees at the head table. If you would please raise your hand as I call you out to be recognized. Teresa Wins, 2009 Hall of Fame inductee. Dr. Amy Matheny, 2008 Hall of Fame inductee. The voice of radio, Rita Price Simpson, 2004 Hall of Fame inductee. And our president, Hall of Fame 2002 inductee, Donna Sullivan. Tonight I have the pleasure of introducing Anna DeLuna, Hannah Feynman, and Izzy Green, who will be singing our national anthem. They are members of Center Grove Sound System, who were grand champions at the Heart of America's competition held at Disneyland. We are very excited to have them here singing for us tonight. Thank you for coming here tonight, and let's get ready to hear something beautiful.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job, ladies. Nice job.
All I can say as a veteran, thank you very much. You did America proud. You really did. Thank you very much, ladies. Woo! That got me. That got me in the feels. Before we have the invocation tonight, if I could please have you all direct your attention to page 8 in the program book for a list of the Hall of Fame inductees who have passed away this year. And it'll be from 2004 up until today's date. The dates that I'm going to read would be the date they were inducted. George Marshall, 1996. Linda K. Rule Barnett, 2003. Russ Greger, 2016. Dwayne Kluel, 1988. Mike Rolfe, 2006. Larry Engel, 2010. Herschel Turner, 1991. Buster Briley, 2014. Art Musselman, 2014. Dick Van Arsdale, 1988. Earl H. Smith, Jr., 2018. David Omer, 2007. Marvin Tudor, 2000. And on October 1st of last year, the Hall of Fame lost one of our own, Carol Toomey. Carol was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2011 and was a highly respected member of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame Board of Directors. She's been an active member of the Women's Committee and Banquet Committee until her passing. We are forever grateful for her hard work, dedication, and love of the game. Those of you in the audience may know her as the matriarch of Center Grove or the Queen of CG. For over 40 years, she coached and developed the girls' sports programs at Center Grove: basketball, volleyball, cross country, and track and field. She was an assistant athletic director, PE chair, and an intramural director as well. Her impact was felt far beyond the court or the track. So beloved, the Center Grove High School girls basketball tournament was renamed the Carol Toomey Holiday Tourney in 2022. And the high school track was named in her honor on August 27th, 2021. Over the years, her impact was recognized throughout the state. She earned numerous awards, including the St. Vincent Health Silver Medal, the National High School Coach of the Year for track, the National High School Coaching Gold Award, the Sagamore of the Wabash Award, and was named the Indiana Athletic Administrator of the Year. She has been inducted into the Franklin College Hall of Fame and the Indiana Track and Field Hall of Fame. Carol Toomey, a coach, a role model, a leader, and an inspiration to many. If we could please have a moment of silence to honor Carol and the others mentioned tonight. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce the 2007 Silver Medal winner, Phyllis Tubbs, to provide our invocation.
Thank you, Melissa. Would you please bow your heads in prayer or silent meditation? Dear Heavenly Father, We thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight to honor each of our inductees and celebrate their careers and accomplishments. We thank you for their families and friends that are here with them during this celebration tonight. We thank you for their coaches, teammates, and especially their parents who helped, for their help and guidance to each of the nominees. All of our honorees have contributed much to Indiana basketball and now are providing leadership and are positive role models for the younger generations to follow. We ask that the pioneers of women's basketball that have gone on before us will always be remembered for their contributions to make it possible for our honorees to participate in this great game of Indiana basketball. We ask that you bless the food and the hands that prepared it for the nourishment to our bodies. And lastly, we ask to grant safe travels to everyone in attendance tonight as we return to our homes at the close of celebration. All these things we ask in your name and pray that they will be done. Amen.
Dinner is served.
That's right here. That's a go.
We're going to go ahead and get started in about 3 minutes with the award portion of the evening. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have everyone please have their seats. Thank you. I cannot wait to hear the stories from the ladies and gentlemen that are up here tonight. So let's get ready. If I could have everybody in their seats, thank you. Once again, good evening and welcome to the awards portion of the banquet. Amy, you made it. Woo! Yes! We are so excited to celebrate tonight with our honorees and their families and friends. Thank you. Before we start tonight's celebration, the Hall of Fame would like to recognize 3 high school students that were unable to attend tonight. They are Melina Lappe from Leo High School, Lola Fouts, and Dare Bowles, both from Scottsburg High School, who are the recipients of the Hall of Fame's Gifts of the Game Scholarship. Congratulations to those 3 scholarship winners. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored tonight to have quite a few former Miss Basketballs joining us this evening. Yes, in the audience. I can see quite a few of you out there, and some of you on the stage. First off, I can see the person who started basketball royalty, the legend, Indiana's first Miss Basketball. Wait, she's over there, table 14. The mighty Judy Warren, the legend from Warsaw High School. If you could stand up. Go ahead. No, Judy, really, stand up. Oh, okay, you are. Sorry. It's a joke I do every year. I'm sorry. It always hits. Sorry. Never gets old for me. It gets old for her every year, but I like it. Sorry, Judy. She's such a good sport about it. The head coach of the Indiana Fever. We're so grateful to have her with us tonight. We love her. We're so glad she's back in the state of Indiana. Woo! The 1995 Miss Basketball, the legend from the town that brought us Stephanie White, Seeger High School and Purdue grad. Stephanie White, please stand up. On the stage, the 1998 Miss Basketball. She almost choked at this table right here. It's exciting, I know. Kelly Kimura from Lake Central High School. And the 2000 Miss Basketball, Sarah Nord from Jefferson High School. I'm sorry, Jeffersonville. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting so excited at this little boy right here. I can't even read my own writing. Well, I probably should have brought my readers up. I'm sorry, I am 56. Gosh darn it. Okay, thanks, Donna. If so, is there anybody else in the audience that I forgot? If so, I will get hit by Donna later on this evening, so please say no. Okay, good, thank God. Whew. All right, please join me in giving a round of applause to these amazing athletes and legends from Indiana. I would also like to thank the Hall of Fame committee members who volunteered their time to help us celebrate our honorees tonight. I'm going to do a shout out to some individuals who helped me personally make this night a fact and turn it into something wonderful. I'd like to start by thanking Jan Connor, Nikki Sorbonne, Bruce Dockery, Linda Godby, Joe Johnson, Cindy Lester, Terry Magnuson, Darlene Matthew, Deb McClurg, Pat McGee, Dr. Amy Matheny, Rita Price Simpson, Laura Titus, Phyllis Tubbs, Jennifer Voris, Judy Warren, and Teresa Wins. Would you all please stand up and be recognized? Thank you. And Rita said she's standing, and I believe her. There are many people who have worked tirelessly to make this event a reality, but I would personally like to highlight Donna Sullivan, the president, and Rick Goins, the executive vice president of the Hall of Fame. We are thankful for their support and leadership to the Women's Advisory Committee and the Women's Banquet Committee. Matt Martin, the executive director at the Hall of Fame, Kayla Kessler, the assistant director, Cheryl Betton, the operations coordinator, Noah Dahlquist, the publications coordinator, and Corey Criswell, the development director at the Hall of Fame. We are eternally grateful for all of your hard work and dedication to ensure our honorees receive the recognition and celebration they deserve here tonight. Thank you all. As you all came in this evening, to the left we had Sophia Smith on the keyboard. She's from Center Grove High School, and she performed for us. Wasn't she wonderful? I'd like to thank her for performing for us tonight. And finally, I'd like to thank the staff at Primos for their consistent service over the years and the service they're providing for us tonight. Thank you so much for everything you do to make this evening a success and wonderful. And finally, I'd like to introduce Matt Martin, the executive director at the Hall of Fame, to say a few words. Matt.
Thanks, Melissa. Again, like Melissa said, Matt Martin, Executive Director of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, fortunate enough to have this position for the past 3 years. And unless they're going to fire me, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So, Donna, Rick, please don't fire me. As we get going, again, for respect of all of our honorees, as well as those around you, please turn off or silence your cell phones or other electronic devices. Again, like Melissa said, thank you to Primo Banquet Hall, Mary Ann and staff. We would like to announce that we have over 500 in attendance at tonight's banquet. So that's really a testament to what Indiana basketball means to this state. So thank you for being here. Again, Hall of Fame staff, Assistant Director Kayla Kessler, Operations Coordinator Cheryl Betton, Publications Coordinator Noah Dahlquist, and Development Director Corey Criswell. We're extremely blessed to be able to do what we do. As I mentioned in the museum earlier today, thank you to our countless and priceless Hall of Fame volunteers. Without these women and men, the Hall of Fame would not be able to function how it does. They are really the lifeblood of what we do. Thank you to Melissa Stanley James and her committee for putting on together another great banquet and for all their help behind the scenes. If you enjoyed visiting, for those of you that were at the museum today, and you enjoyed our new expansion, if you're interested in supporting the Hall of Fame and being involved beyond just our banquet, consider joining our membership roll. Please see page 100 of your program for membership information and registration. Or if there's any other way that you would like to be involved, please contact myself or Corey Criswell, and we can make that happen. Free Hall of Fame materials are located at each table. And just a reminder, when we opened our the expansion part of our museum in December of 24, in tandem with that, we expanded our partnership with Henry Community Health. So our Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame Museum is free for all individuals that come through that door. Nobody has to pay a dime to come see our great exhibits. So please, now you have no excuse to come visit us. Money is not an issue. So thank you to Henry Community Health for that. Lastly, thank you to our corporate sponsors, which are on page 11, the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever, Indiana Basketball Coaches Association, the IHSAA, Citizens State Bank, Henry Community Health, Jostens, Stiefel, and Shepherd Insurance. Now for her remarks in tonight's first awards, our current Hall of Fame president, Donna Sullivan.
I'm not going to repeat all the thank yous that they did. I'm just going to make it all together in one quick thing. Thanks again for all of the honorees here tonight with you and your family and friends for tonight's program. And thank you to all the people that were just thanked earlier tonight. But I would like to say a special thank you to the Board of Directors of the Executive Hall of Fame Executive Committee and those volunteers and all the members of our committees through the Hall of Fame, because without them, we wouldn't be here tonight either. One time, when I became president in July of 2023, I didn't know what to expect for the next 2 years. But I had a great staff, we have a great board, and we have a great executive committee at the Hall of Fame. And from that, it is my pleasure and their pleasure to honor the coaches and make contributions to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. And tonight we are celebrating the class of 2025 and paying tribute to a distinguished group of deceased players. In your program, there is an ad that says, and I'm going to read it from the ad because it's more appropriate. I can say it better than I can. Today we celebrate a moment long overdue, the induction of Indiana's pioneering women of basketball, whose courage, passion, and determination lit the way more than a century ago. Your legacy lives on in every fast break, every three-pointer, every young girl in Indiana who picks up a basketball and dares to dream. You opened the doors for generations to follow, and today we walk through them in gratitude and awe. And I would like for the people who are representing those deceased players and Coach Marcia Snow to stand. They're somewhere over, where are you? Where are the, oh, there they are, right there, yeah. These are family members and friends of those people we're going to honor a little bit later on. From the groundbreaking in October of 2023 to the Classic Games in December of 2023, to form a Women's History Committee in January of 2024, to the new exhibit opening in December of 24, and the Men's Banquet of March this year. I've been on a great journey, a wonderful journey. But one exhibit we opened in the new part of the Hall of Fame is girls high school, the impact of girls high school basketball in Indiana and the impact of Title IX. In 1998, from the first game that was played by Shortridge High School and Classical High School in Indianapolis, to 1937, when you can't find a game being played because they all stopped playing, and if you want to know how or why, you have to go to the Hall of Fame and read it. From 1907 to 1937, there were over 300 high schools playing girls' high school basketball. And that 1937 was the last team that played until the early 60s. But they played anything from 12 women basketball rules to 6-on-6 with no dribbles, to 6-on-6 with 2 dribbles, and 6-on-6 with 2 rovers, 2 guards, and 2 forwards, and unlimited dribbles. I would like to ask any woman who played 6-on-6 to please stand. Any woman who played 6-on-6. Come on, I know we got some in here. It wasn't until 1970 that the IHSA deleted a bylaw that said girls may play basketball in Indiana, but they may not play boys' rules. So we played 6-on-6. Today, though, that's a long-forgotten rule. We play the National Federation rules, which are the boys' rules, since 1973-74. And this year, through the efforts of Jane Schott and the IHSA, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the state tournament. So let's give Jane. She did a great job of organizing, and if you want to see 24, 25 podcasts are great about people who played then, everything from officials to coaches. She has them on tape, and they can't lie about it. But I would be remiss if I didn't say something about our MC for the inductees tonight, because she has done the play-by-play of all 50 years. Rita Price Simpson, sitting right here to my right. I thank you for your support and attendance tonight, because without your help and encouragement and financial assistance, we couldn't accomplish the mission of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, which is to honor, preserve, and promote the heritage of Indiana high school basketball. Now sit back and enjoy another great evening. I would like to present the President's Award. And when I read that in our bylaws, and it says, to a person or persons who has gone above and beyond in service to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. And I mentioned earlier, in January of 2024, we started a history committee to try to develop our what is now in the Hall of Fame, our history that talks about Indiana history and the impact of Title IX. And I would like to bring the 2 people that I'm going to present this, because they spend a lot of their time helping us. Susie Bear and, where's Susie at? Come ahead up. And Matt Werner. Susie helped us get the idea to divide everything into time frames, and that's what we did. She wrote a dissertation at IU and had interviewed 30-some people in 1989 with the time frames of starting with 1900 to 1931, all the way up to 1972, and get my notes here, get the right one, 1972 to 1990. We added the 1990 to 2024. From that, the 30 interviews, we listened, and from that, we started looking back. And I don't think that anyone on that committee, when we started, thought we'd spend much time from 1900 to 1972. I think most of us thought most of our time would be spent from Title IX until today. Excuse me. But we spent most of our time from 1907 to 1937, when we found that over 300 high school teams were playing girls basketball. And from that, you're going to see the 4 inductees from tonight. But they were actually gathering materials, Matt was, to maybe do an Indiana high school documentary for WNIT in South Bend. And he joined our committee along with Susie. And they have been the people that showed us the way. We did something in about 9 months that should have taken us about 9 years. But you'll see the exhibit. If you've been to the Hall of Fame, you'll see the exhibit. But the one thing that Matt helped us with was to tell the story of 10 early teams. Not to tell statistics, but tell a story. And the one story, real quickly, is Monrovia declared them. What happened back then, they didn't have a sectional or a regional or anything for girls. So they would play teams, and they would, if they won, they would declare themselves state champions. And if you look at the Hall of Fame, there's 2 Loving Cups. Mount Vernon was state champions twice. And Wabash declared themselves state champions in 1928-29. Griffith High School was 28. So you can go back and altogether there's 25 high schools that declared themselves state champion, a minimum of 25. So we took the 10 notable teams, and Monrovia declared themselves state champions. So they found out that Kentucky had a state champion. So they went down to play the Kentucky state champion. Whoever won was going to be the Indiana and Kentucky state champion. So they rode the train to Evansville, took the ferry to Henderson, played the game, and Indiana won, Monrovia won. They came back and declared themselves the Indiana and Kentucky state champions. So that's one of the notable team stories at the Hall of Fame. And that came from Matt's ideas. The people remember things like that a lot more than they ever remember statistics. And Susie's time frames was the gauge that made it so much worth it. And both of them we'd like to honor tonight. They're still helping us, by the way. They didn't just stop. Matt lives in LaPorte County, Indiana, and Susie originally from Rochester. Went blank. Rochester, Indiana. Susie. Congratulations. Here, good kid. Now stay here and we'll go both of them. Matt. Thank you. I want to get both of us off. Yeah. Okay, I want to get both of them. Right there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll go on to the next thing, our program.
Thank you, Donna. That's such an interesting, and congratulations to the 2 of you. I would like to introduce Teresa Wins, the 2009 Hall of Fame inductee, who will introduce the Center Circle Officials Award. Teresa.
Good evening. It is my privilege to present the 2025 Center Circle Officials Award honorees. Each year, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame honors 3 individuals for their contributions as Indiana high school girls basketball officials as recipients of the Center Circle Officials Award. Tonight, 3 outstanding officials will be recognized for their contributions to our great game. As they are introduced, we ask each recipient or their representative to come to the stage where they will be met by Terry Magnuson, previous Center Circle official honoree, who will present them with their plaque. To view their full bios, please refer to page 30 in your program. Tonight's first honoree is the late Joe Gilliland. During an officiating career from 1972 to 2018, Gilliland worked boys basketball as well as girls basketball games at all levels. As a high school official, he called 15 sectionals, 14 regionals, 6 semi-states, and 2 state finals in 1984 and 85 in girls basketball. He also worked 13 sectionals, 8 regionals, 3 semi-state, and the 1988 state finals in boys basketball. In addition, he worked the Boys Hall of Fame Classic in 86 and 90, as well as calling the Indiana-Kentucky Girls All-Stars in 1983, 1997, and 1998. Joe served on the IOA board and was the owner of the IAS basketball officiating camp. Accepting the award for Joe is Darla, Red as we know her, Anderson, Joe's girlfriend of 30 years. Please join me in congratulating the 2025 Center Circle Award honoree, the late Joe Gilliland and family. Our next 2025 Center Circle official honoree is Donnie Whitlow. In addition to being active on the South Central Officials Association Board, Whitlow's officiating career went from 1987 to 2008. Whitlow worked in 14 sectionals, 5 regionals, 4 semi-states, and 2 state finals in 2001 and 2005 in girls basketball. He also worked 14 sectionals, 5 regionals, 3 semi-state, and the 2006 state finals in boys basketball. Whitlow served as the SCOA secretary for 10 years and was a clinician, observer, and rules interpreter. Tonight we honor 2025 Center Circle Officials Award honoree, Donnie Whitlow. Our third and final 2025 Center Circle Official honoree is Kim Yellick. Kim is in her 36th year of officiating high school. Lie about that. Especially when I'm only 34. I don't know. Her 36th year of officiating high school basketball as a member of the Lake County Officials Association. And let me interject that I've been around a while, and Kim knows I've been around a while, and I worked with a number of officials and work with the women especially, and I want to say that Kim has the longevity as it relates to women who have worked in basketball, and so we congratulate Kim for staying healthy, because those knees get you sometimes, staying healthy, and her back is good because she's been carrying some folks, but we appreciate Kim hanging around for us. Over the years, she has worked 29 sectionals, 24 regionals, 15 semi-state, and 6 state finals. She worked in 2004, 2007, 2010, 2013, 2016, and 2021 in girls basketball. And if you follow that series, there's a process that we go through in assigning officials. And so every time that year came for Kim to be back in the rotation, she was always back in. So we really appreciate at 21, and I'm sorry. So that means she's worked 7, and she worked in 2025. She also has called 3 Hall of Fame Classic tournaments and the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Games in 2008, 2009, and 2010. In addition, she has called 2 sectionals in boys basketball. Yellick began officiating to follow in her father's footsteps, who officiated for 17 years. Congratulations to the 2025 Center Circle Official Award honoree, Kim Yellick. Let's give one more round of applause to the 2025 Center Circle Officials Award honorees for girls basketball.
2001A, Triton. Amber Feldman sank a three-pointer as time expired in overtime to give Triton a 57-54 victory over Rising Sun in a Class A state championship game at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Feldman, a 5'7" sophomore guard, received a pass from teammate Tommy Kreider along the top right side and drilled the shot from about 20 feet to give the unranked Trojans 20-7 their first state championship in any team sport. It was Feldman's only field goal attempt and points of the game. Triton's Melissa Nafong nailed three-pointers on 2 consecutive trips down the floor to tie the game at 54-54 with 44.2 seconds to go. After a Rising Sun miss and a Triton rebound, the Trojans began setting up the final play with about 25 seconds remaining, which resulted in Feldman's game winner. Triton owned a 28-20 lead at halftime and 38-33 after 3 periods, but the Shiners were able to rally and force overtime. Brandy Geshorn then hit a jumper as Triton regained a 1-point lead before Jennifer Brock hit her second free throw to tie the game again at 46-46. Triton's Melissa Nafong was named the Patricia L. Roy Mental Attitude Award winner by the IHSAA Executive Committee. Tonight, the assistant coach, Gail Perry, and head coach Mark Heater are here tonight. Or just Mark Heater is here tonight. Congratulations, Mark. (2A) Fort Wayne Bishop Lures. Top-ranked Fort Wayne Bishop Lures survived the last-second three-point shot and successfully defended its Class 2A state championship with a 62-60 victory over Forest Park at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Coached by Gary Andrews, the Knights became just the 4th school to repeat as state champions, joining Crown Point in 84 and 85, Kokomo in 92 and 93, and Martinsville in 97 and 98. It was the school's 6th state championship overall. Lures threatened to blow the game open in the second period, enjoying its largest lead of the game at 36-21 with 3:40 left. The Knights were able to open 7-point margins 3 times in the third period, but could never put away Forest Park. Forest Park went on a 7-2 run over the last 1 minute and 42 seconds, of which pulled Forest Park within 60-57. The Lures' Rachel King was sent to the line and made the second of her 2 free throws to give Lures a 4-point advantage with 47.5 seconds to go. King added a free throw, again for Lures, to make it 62-60 with only 10 seconds left on the clock before Kress' attempt at the buzzer. King led all scorers with 22 points, while Carrie Stein chipped in 14 points for the Bishop Lures. Members were very proud of their state championships again, and tonight with us is the coach, Gary Andrews. (3A) Indianapolis Cathedral. Indianapolis Cathedral had 4 players score in double figures, and the Irish went on a 58-44 victory over Columbia City in the Class 3A state championship at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. After coming up short a year ago against Northwood, Cathedral returned and won its first state championship in girls basketball. The victory marked the 3rd state championship that school year for the Irish, having won titles in volleyball and football. Top-ranked Cathedral, coached by Linda Bamrick, were led in scoring by Ellen Remy with 15 points, Asia Zinnerman, who poured in 13, Jill Corbett, 12, and Katie Miller, 10. They finished on an 18-game winning streak. Members of the Indianapolis Cathedral State Champions with us tonight include Jill Corbett-Biddle, Rachel Brockman, Sharika Webb, Coach Dave Fox, Coach Bob Stockdale, Coach Greg Bamrick, and Head Coach Linda Bamrick. Ben Davis. Ben Davis held off a determined Valparaiso squad to capture an exciting 56-53 victory in the Class 4A state championship game at Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The 4A top-ranked Giants finished 28-0 under coach Stan Binge. It was the second state championship for Ben Davis this school year. They'd also won in football, and the first in girls basketball. Ben Davis led most of the game, but had to hang on in its final minutes as Valparaiso rallied to grab a 52-50 lead with 1:27 left. Ashley Allen then answered with a layup to tie the score. After Ben Davis fouled, Rosenbaum converted the first of two free throws before Allen hit a jumper in the lane with 10 seconds remaining to put the Giants up 54-53. While moving the ball up the court on the ensuing play, the Giants' pressing defense forced a jump ball and gained possession on the alternating possession. Ben Davis inbounded the ball and wasted several seconds before being fouled with just over a second to go. Ben Davis's Shira Eli, who fouled out with 1:27 to play, finished with 21 points, 11 rebounds. Allen also finished with 19 points. Sarah Strahan was selected by the IHSAA Executive Committee as a recipient of the Patricia L. Roy Middle Attitude Award. Tonight, we have Sarah Strom Corbin, Heather McGowan, Kevin Vanderbush, Terry Strom, and Coach Stan Binge with us tonight. Congratulations. Thank you. I'd like to turn your attention to the Women's Silver Anniversary Team. I'd like to introduce Dr. Amy Matheny, the 2008 Hall of Fame inductee, who will introduce the 2025 Silver Anniversary Team. I'd like to also recognize Linda Godby, 2012 inductee, and Nikki Sorbonne, 2017 inductee, who are going to be presenting the plaques to our honorees. Dr. Amy Matheny.
Okay. Each year, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame honors the Silver Anniversary Team from 25 years ago. To read each member's bio, this is like, I'm not this tall. Linda, you want to do this? All right. Let's do this. To read each member's bio, please turn to page 32 in your program. Okay, we're going to start. Susie Hamill Albert from Lebanon Lafayette Jeff. Susie was an Indiana All-Star while setting school records for points in a game, points in a season, three-pointers in a game, and three-pointers in a season. She was a good shooter. Albert went to Valparaiso University, where she amassed over 1,000 points and shares the school record for three-pointers in a game. Susie, you got to come back down. She is currently a design and marketing director for APRN Planning, partners in Dallas. And for those of you who don't know, APRN is a Greek word for boundless. Her brother came up with that. That's a shout out to your brother, Susie. Ladies and gentlemen, Susie Hamill Albert. Lee Carr Bovard from North Harrison. Bovard totaled almost 1,500 points, helping North Harrison claim the 1999 sectional title. She holds school records for rebounds in a game and consecutive free throws made, and many others at the time of graduation. She went on to play at Eastern Kentucky. Lee says that being part of the deep-rooted tradition and rich history of Indiana basketball is priceless, and that every application cover letter still to this day states NCAA student-athlete in one way or another. Is that not so true? Bovard currently is a professor of anatomy and physiology, where she is suffering it out at the University of Hawaii. She said that she lives in Hawaii and vacations in Indiana. Lee Carr Bovard. Sarah Strom Corbin Ben Davis. Corbin helped Ben Davis to the 2000 IHSAA 4A state championship and was named an Indiana All-Star. She went to Butler as a freshman and then transferred to the University of Indianapolis, where she was a 3-time GLVC Academic All-Conference. Sarah says that the game of basketball will teach you about the ups and downs of life. And if you pour yourself into it and make sacrifices, it will carry you through and help you win in even more difficult situations. Corbin is the Assistant Vice President of Dealer Development for Prestige Financial. Sarah Strom Corbin. Jennifer Dijon from Perry Meridian. An all-star, Dijon totaled over 1,000 points and 2 Conference Indiana titles while being named Perry Meridian's Outstanding Female Athlete as a senior. Dijon went to Bellarmine out of high school, but due to injuries, transferred to Marion. As a coach, she tells her players, in a game, your stats may not define how you play. However, your effort will. Dijon is currently a PE teacher and girls basketball coach at Cardinal Ritter. Jennifer Dijon. Karen Force Spurgeon from Columbus East. Spurgeon played in 2 sectionals, 2 regionals, and a semi-state championship, as well as the East-West All-Star Classic. She went to Cornell and set the record for season free throws, along with being in the record books in many other different categories. As for playing out of state in New York, she said she would often hear, "Oh, you're from Indiana. You must be a great shooter." So she said she had to learn to live up to that. She is currently a territory sales leader for Zimmer Biomet Ortho Solutions. Karen Force Spurgeon. Jonna Goff, Mount Vernon, Fortville. Goff was an Indiana All-Star, an AP First-Team All-State, and an ICGAS First-Team All-State while averaging 24 points a game for the Marauders. She went on to Ball State, where she stands 6th in career points, 5th in career assists, and career three-pointers. Goff opened her own law firm in 2022, and in her free time, she coaches 6th grade basketball and her daughter's 5th grade class at Mount Vernon Middle School. She also serves on the Mount Vernon Education Foundation Board. Jonna Goff. Kirsty Holloway, New Washington. ICGASA First Team All-State honoree and First Team Academic All-State, Holloway scored over 2,000 career points in her career. She went to St. Louis University, where she's 2nd on the school's career three-point accuracy list and won the SLU Sixth Player Award. Regarding what it meant to play basketball in Indiana, Christy said a whole lot of just incredible things we could all relate to, and then ended it with, "But there's no place like home." Holloway is currently the head coach at New Washington High School while teaching at Christian Academy of Indiana. Kirsty Holloway. Jessica Ryder Horvath, Penn. Horvath averaged 17 points her senior year, helping Penn secure 2 sectional championships, 1 regional title, and 3 NIC crowns during her playing career. An Indiana All-Star, Horvath went to Ball State, where she totaled almost 1,200 points and sits 3rd in total rebounds on the all-time list. She also sits 3rd and 9th for rebounds in a single season. Horvath has worked as a pharmacist since 2008. Jessica Ryder Horvath. Connie Myers-Klein, Columbia City. As second-team All-State, Klein finished her career with over 1,600 points, and while her team, as well, her team was the Class 3A state runner-up. She attended Indiana University, then transferred to Northern Kentucky, where she played for 4 years. Connie says she was honored to be born and raised in our basketball-loving state, and that the round orange ball represents a drive to compete and never quit. Klein has been the controller for Whitehead Construction since 2018. Connie Myers-Klein. Lauren Daly Martin, West Vigo. Martin totaled school records for points, assists, and steals while winning the 2000 McMillan Award as the top high school all-sport athlete in Terre Haute. Martin went to Eastern Illinois and stands on the top 10 list in several categories. Lauren said that growing up playing basketball in the state of Indiana was almost like a rite of passage, especially in a small town. Some of my fondest memories, she says, are traveling around the state, playing in hot gyms with some of my best friends. Now, who can't relate to that? Martin has worked various roles with State Farm Insurance and Pella Corporation and is currently at home with her children. Lauren Daly Martin. Sarah Nord, Jeffersonville. Nord averaged 22 points a game her senior year, leading her to be an Indiana All-Star. She also holds school records in numerous categories, including season three-pointers, career three-pointers, along with career and season assists. Nord then went to Louisville, where she was the WBCA and AP Honorable Mention All-American her senior year. She has worked as a basketball skills trainer since 2008 and a manager of the Spring Hill Envision Center and Nahand Fieldhouse in Jeffersonville. I had to use my little, yeah, Nahand Fieldhouse in Jeffersonville. Sarah Nord. Amy Owsley Ott from Marion Lakeview Christian. Ott helped Marion Lakeview Christian to a sectional and regional title as a senior, holding the Grant County record in points at just over 2,000. She was named first team academic All-State before attending Indiana Wesleyan, where she was named the NAIA Academic All-American. Regarding winning, Amy says, winning isn't just measured in points. It's measured in progress, resilience, and the person you become through the journey. Amy is a nurse who has currently been staying at home with her children since 2020 and coaches the junior high basketball in Mississinawa. Amy Owsley Ott. Jessica Brock Peelman from Rising Sun. Averaging 18 points a game, Peelman helped Rising Sun to the 2000 state runner-up title. She holds school records for points. She was a two-time All-State also in track and volleyball. Peelman then went to Purdue Fort Wayne, then transferred to Northern Kentucky, and she sits 15th on career three-point accuracy. Peelman has taught at the Ohio County Elementary since 2014 and is an assistant coach at Rising Sun. Jessica Brock Peelman. Abby Charlo, New Albany. An Indiana All-Star, Charlo led the Bulldogs to a sectional and regional title as a senior and helped lead them to a 4A state title as a junior. She went to Cleveland State before transferring to UW Green Bay, where she totaled almost 2,000 points in 3 seasons. That's a lot of points. And 3 Horizon League titles. She played professionally in Greece and Finland, where she said, "Basketball allowed me to see other cultures and grow in my understanding of who I am as a person." Charlo is currently employed in property management. Abby Charlo. Lindsay Seacrest, Bloomfield. Oh, you're the rule breaker of the group. I heard you say there's the one in every group. Averaging 29 points, Seacrest earned Indiana All-Star honors, setting multiple school records, including points in a game, season points, and rebounds in a game. She then continued her career at Northern Illinois, scoring over 1,000 points. Abby says that playing basketball in Indiana meant that I was blessed to experience a culture associated with basketball that is unlike any other. Since 2017, Seacrest has been an art teacher and a tennis coach at North Davies High School. Lindsay Seacrest. Lynn Johnson-Thomas, Corydon Central. Johnson-Thomas was an Indiana All-Star who set the school record for steals while being second for career points, season points, and career rebounds. Thomas went to Bellarmine, where she stands second in career points and was three-time GLVC All-Academic Team member. Lynn says that basketball taught me to be coachable, a team player, how to take constructive feedback, and deal with adversity. She said, "There is not a single area of my life that has not in some way been impacted by basketball." Amen. Thomas has been employed by South Harrison Community Schools since 2005 and is currently the athletic director at South Central Junior Senior High School. Lynn Johnson-Thomas. Anna Wall, Franklin Community. Wall was an Indiana All-Star and holds school records for points, assists, and steals while leading Franklin to a Class 3A sectional title. After high school, Wall played at Indiana University and Franklin College. Anna said that she received so many benefits from basketball, and then she included one that I have to say I've not heard. She said that she developed balance and coordination from dribbling for hours up and down their country road as a little girl. Does anybody have video of that? She said we didn't have that back then. Yeah. I bet you it made you a good dribbler, though, on that rock. Yeah. Wall is currently a carrier for the U.S. Postal Service. Anna Wall. And last tonight, Natalie Ute from Portage. An Indiana All-Star Ute ranks 8th on the Portage all-time scoring list while earning the 2000 Hank Stram Tony Zale Award for Athletic Academic Achievement as a senior. Ute then went on to UW Green Bay, where unfortunately her career was cut short due to injury. Regarding winning, Natalie says, now mind you, she's a therapist when you hear this. If you ever reach a point where winning in her hard work is creating more distress in your life than enjoyment, contentment, and happiness, I encourage you to prioritize the values that are of the greatest importance of your life. Well said. Ute is currently a mental health and substance abuse therapist for Cityscape Counseling. Natalie Ute. I'd like to ask all the 2025 Silver Anniversary members to stand for a minute, and I want you all to hear this as they stand. All of them have said that basketball prepared them for life. And as you can see here, we have pharmacists and lawyers and business people and teachers and coaches and trainers and a nurse and the toughest job of all, being a mom. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what growing up playing basketball gives you. These incredible women Please, let's give them one more round of applause. Your 2025 Silver Anniversary team.
Congratulations, ladies. I would like to introduce the legendary announcer, the voice, Rita Price Simpson, the 2004 Hall of Fame inductee, who will introduce, a lot better than I ever could, the 2025 Hall of Fame inductees. Rita, would you like me to bring it down? Oh. No, not yet. You're gonna do the deceased. You're gonna do the deceased first. I will do that. Yep. These two don't have anybody. Okay.
Had just a small communication failure there. I'm not used to having this many deceased people to have to talk about. But let me tell you something, it's well worth the wait. Now, you talk about basketball, we all do, and we talk about scoring, average scoring, all the different things that make it a great game, make all of us love it. Well, these women and men that we're going to talk about coming up next didn't have all that going for them. They just did it by the seat of their pants, and they did it very well. As we begin to introduce this year's 2025 Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame inductees, the introduction offers only a brief glimpse of their intentions and their great careers. And we have an opportunity right now to tell you about some people who were way, way before their time. We talk about the people that were great in introducing basketball to us maybe 50 years ago at an IHSA level, but these people were doing it long before that. The late Tom Earlywine of Huntington, Trowbridge, the township. Coach Earlywine, with an impressive 161 by 68 record and a 72.7 winning percentage, he led his team to 4 sectionals. He also had 2 regionals, and he coached in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame Classic. His dedication and his skill as a coach earned him the title of All-Star Assistant in 1987, an All-Star Head Coach in 1988. In 1991, he was recognized as Hancock County's Coach of the Year and ICGSA Director and District 4 Coach of the Year. Tom Earlywine, here to represent the family and accept this great induction plaque on behalf of the late Tom Earlywine is his son, Kirk Earlywine. Is he here? Come on up. Right, yeah. Yeah. Got it? Come on. Get him right down. I have to bring him around here.
Sorry, Kurt.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, your
Thank
dad
you.
was a great guy. He was a
Thank
great
you.
guy.
I appreciate it.
Now, that's about the only man I know, Donna, that looked at you and said, you didn't tell me where to go. Because Donna's pretty good about that, and she does it very, very well. Let me get myself organized here a little bit better. You know, most people would look at Donna and I and think, they're really people that love to talk about basketball. Neither one of us have a good set of legs going for us, but it's okay. We've been gifted in many other ways. The late Ruth Hutchin Parker is a cherished figure from Griffith. Ruth Hutchins Parker was a remarkable basketball player whose legacy continues to inspire literally 100 years later. Known as a prolific scorer in her era, her incredible talent shone throughout as she set a record of 120 points in a 126-4 triumph over Maryville. Yeah, that was 126-4. She scored 106 points on 53 of 64 shooting percentage, 115-10 trouncing over Rossville in 1928. Now, during her senior year, the Purple Pantherettes, they called them, went 17-0, showcasing their dominance by outscoring opponents by over 30 points per game. Ruth's passion for the sport didn't end there. With high school, she continued to play the Independent League, where she once scored an astonishing 159 points in a single game. Now, I don't know how many of you have played horse, but if you could score that many points playing horse with nobody guarding you, can you imagine what that must have been like? Her shooting skills will forever be remembered in the hearts of every Hoosier. Ruth Hutchins Parker. Representing the family and accepting the induction plaque on behalf of the Ruth Hutchins Parker family is her youngest son, John Parker. Get over there. Mhm. Coming?
Thank you very much. Should have told him that. See that in 6 on 6. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're a gem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The late Doris Bill Smyers Richards of Wabash. We are honored to celebrate the remarkable achievements of this great woman in basketball. Doris Bill Smyers Richards, a legendary figure in the history of women's basketball. As a star player for the Wabash Snowballs, now that was something to overcome right there, the Wabash Snowballs, in the early 1930s, she dazzled audiences with her exceptional skills, scoring an impressive 945 points in those seasons. Now remember, the seasons were shorter and we had no three. You have to keep that in mind too. Averaging 27 points per game over her final years as a high school associated in basketball, her illustrious 4-year record stands at 45-2-2. And she was instrumental in securing the big mythical state championship in 1929, the one also in 1931 and in 1932. You gave us a little bit of information on that, Donna. I guess you declared yourself that. Smyers' top individual game came in a 122-2 victory over Fairmont, where she scored 69 points. Doris Bill Smyers Richards. You got that? Yeah, just go ahead and get that one. Okay. We have some families coming up and some families that could not be here tonight. The late Marcia Snow of Muskegon, Michigan. Now, the late Martha Snow is known the coach of the legendary Wabash Snowballs from 26 to 1935. During that time, she guided her team to a legendary status, earning mythical state championships in 29, 31, and 32. There you go. There's a duplication. Her remarkable coaching seasons included 12-0, 11-1-1, and 10-0-1 as a state championship game. Marcia Snow's vision and the dedication were instrumental in establishing the GAA, which served as a cornerstone and cornerstone for girls' sports in 4 decades. That's the preliminary to what we have now. She later returned to her alma mater in Muskegon to continue her inspiring work as a teacher and a coach. Marcia Snow's legacy is celebrated by her profound impact on the development of girls' athletics. Inducting Marcia Snow. Yeah, Wabash will be getting this, by the way, the Wabash High School. We'll make sure that they get all of these things that they well deserve as being Hall of Fame inductees. These women set the pace. Now, we talk about 50 years ago, and we think that the pace was set then. Well, it kind of was, yes. But that's way back in the 20s. Okay, now we are ready for the inductees today, the ones sitting up here at this front table. Okay, I got one left there. Hand that to me. Okay, we're just a little bit out of sync tonight, and I guess that's probably me. I'm out of sync tonight, but we'll get her done. The late Sally McGregor Ward of Mount Vernon, Posey. The late Sally McGregor Ward, distinguished alumna of Mount Vernon High School in Posey, is celebrated for her remarkable achievements on the basketball court. Graduating in 1926, Ward amassed an impressive total of 755 points, leading her team to an outstanding 49-4-1 record in her last 3 years of high school. Nicknamed Never Miss Sally, averaged 18.9 points per game as a senior, a time when Mount Vernon was proudly regarded as a state champion. Her most outstanding performance was a record-breaking 56 points, achieving that through 27 field goals and 2 free throws in a decisive victory 74-2 over Evansville Memorial. Sally McGregor Ward. And representing the family for this award and accepting the induction plaque on behalf of the late Sally McGregor Ward is her cousin, Rich Keck. Is in there?
Rich was here.
Is that him back there coming?
That's him coming back there. I think that's him. Nope, it's not him. He was here earlier.
Is he here?
I guess not. He was here earlier. Okay.
Okay.
Silver medal.
Silver medal up next. Thank you very much. This next lady is a very special person. Go ahead and do that for me. But I would like to say one thing. Yeah, before we do that. Lynn Dunn, I have to say something about her personally, myself. She is not a woman who will stand back and say nothing when she thinks it needs to be said. And all of you know that about her. She's a treasure. She's up next.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
There you go, no problem.
All right, sorry about that. We had a little change-a-roo. All right, I would love to have the honor of introducing a true pioneer in women's basketball whose groundbreaking career has left an indelible mark on this sport. Coach Lynn Dunn spent 25 seasons as a college head coach with stops at Austin Peay, Mississippi, Miami, and Purdue, amassing over 500 collegiate victories. She then coached in the WNBA for the Seattle Storm and the Indiana Fever, bringing home the WNBA championship in 2012. She's a two-time WNBA All-Star head coach. From 2022 to 2024, Dunn was the general manager of the Indiana Fever. Currently, she is a senior advisor for the Fever. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to welcome the legendary coach, Lynn Dunn, to present the Indiana Fever Silver Medal Award.
All right. I have the wonderful honor of representing Pacer Sports and Entertainment tonight, and I just want y'all to know that we are thrilled to be a part of this event to honor and celebrate the honorees tonight. It's just a moment that we cherish every year, and I want to make sure you know how much Pacer Sports and Entertainment and the Indiana Fever love being here. The recipient of this year's Fever Silver Medal Award, which includes Hall of Fame induction, is Martha Maiden Randall. Martha Maiden Randall is a 1965 graduate of Thornton High School. She has made an indelible mark on girls basketball here in Indiana. That's one of the reasons why I'm thrilled to induct her. Her tireless dedication to enhancing the game atmosphere, schedules for both practices and games, enhanced locker room facilities, championed getting uniforms for girls. Martha has been a vocal advocate for equal opportunities, ensuring an equivalent number of coaches and fair pay. Fair pay. Fair pay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for her invaluable contributions. In the early days of Title IX, she worked with Senator Birch Bayh and his staff, laying the groundwork for future advancements. Her commitment extended to visiting high schools across central Indiana, where she engaged with parents to address concerns about disparity between girls and boys basketball. Randall's remarkable contributions have earned her the IBHOF President's Award in 2017 and the Distinguished Hoosier Award from Governor Eric Holban in 2019. Our legend tonight, and thank you so much for all you've done, Martha Randall. Come on down.
Do whatever you tell me. I'm right here with you. I got you. Okay, thank you. I do want to thank the Hall of Fame nominating committee and the Indiana Fever organization for this honor. It's with humility that I accept this very prestigious award. And I'm aware there's more and more people deserving of this than am I. In the early days with my working with basketball, because I didn't play basketball, I was never on a team. But still, somehow I got hooked on it. I worked towards gender equity, both in our home school and when we played other schools. And I would just make myself known to some of the parents and people there that seemed to be interested to hear my story, and I'd give them information on trying to make sure there was gender equity for both the boys and the girls. There were other people that was instrumental behind the scenes in doing this. Some of those people are the late Pat Roy and Carol Toomey, and also Dr. Amy Matheny, Jerry Pearson, Chris May. They helped a lot. So did Phyllis Tubbs, Rita Price Simpson. Are these people familiar to you? Chris May, Judy Warren, Teresa Wins, Mildred Ball, Darlene Matthew, Jan Connors, Cindy Lester, and Pat McKee, just to name a few. And most importantly tonight, without the guidance of my friend Donna Solomon, I probably wouldn't even be here. So thank you. For all your guidance, honey. Thank you. So I also want to congratulate all the inductees tonight, because this will be a night they will always remember. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Martha, for all you did. And I think the biggest thing with most of these things that we talk about tonight are the things that they did quietly. Many people didn't know about the flourish that she did many times when she would call me and say, have you heard of such and such a game and such a night? I don't think that was right. She was a champion for all of us. Martha, you're a gem. Thank you. All right, now comes the time when we start inducting the people that are up here on the stage and talk about some of the great things that they've done for high school basketball and beyond. We're looking for a good selection of people that are really talented but have given gifts to the game. Sarah Armington Anderson. Armington averaged 24.3 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, and 2.3 assists, 2.7 steals, and was a 1991 Indiana All-Star after leading Anderson to an 18-5 record and the berth in the Summit State as a senior. Armington scored in the school record of 52 points against Muncie South and was selected 1991 AP First Team All-State. She then went on to Butler, where she helped the Bulldogs with a 71-42 record while scoring over 1,000 points in her college career. She was a member of the 2016 Silver Anniversary Team, and since 2012 has been a sales representative for Superior Industrial Solutions. Sarah Armington.
first. Oh. Then we'll let you talk, and then we'll do it. I'll hold this right here.
See if I can get this to work. Right? The resounding message I've been getting tonight from the staff, right? Do we know it? 3 to 5 minutes, and don't fall off the back of the stage. Right? Have you heard that? Have you heard that on your side as well? Okay. What a great day it's been. I hope a lot of you had the opportunity to head over to Newcastle to check out the Hall of Fame. It was awesome. All the renovations they've done and the displays, the staff over there did a tremendous job. So thank you for that. That was a lot of fun. There's so many people I want to thank tonight, and I'm going to try to keep it short on this limited timeline. But first, I want to start off by saying what a tremendous honor this is to be inducted into this 2025 class with all these deserving honorees. Unexpected for me, I think, but I'm truly honored and humbled. So thank you. It was amazing growing up in Madison County in the 80s and early 90s. It was sort of a hotbed of basketball over there with great teams, great players, boys and girls side. The year I was, my junior and senior year were the 2 years that we actually won the sectional titles, with my junior year being the year we made it all the way to the Final Four. Unfortunately, we were defeated by a really good Bedford North Lawrence team, but Carrie, that hasn't stuck with me all these years or anything. But it was a great experience getting there, so one I will always remember. Judy, I can't imagine the task of going through all of these candidates. There's so many deserving honorees of this award. I just really appreciate being selected and you guys pushing my nomination through. All my coaches, gosh, there's a bunch. I'm going to forget a lot of you, but bear with me. My AAU coaches, Pat McKee, Willie Turner out of the boys club there in Anderson. My high school coaches, Lavelle Wilkerson and Deke Weaver. And all of my Butler coaches at my time there. Coach Okowski, Terry Moran, Don Gentry. There's so many. Jamie Sloan. There's a lot. I'm forgetting you. All of you were involved and contributed to my growth as a player, so thank you. My teammates, both college and high school, some here tonight. I saw Jen Marlowe from Butler. I saw Danielle Radebush, Anderson, Molina, of course. I shot the ball a lot. So yeah, none of this, guys, would have been possible without you. So thank you very much. My table tonight, Lauren and Steph. Yeah, your endless support of myself and my family has meant the world to me. I hope you both know how much I appreciate you. My kids, Henry, Liam, and Addie, and my niece, Jane. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm really glad you could see this. Now maybe you'll believe that I was actually pretty good at basketball. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes your kids just don't get it until they see it, right? My brother, Tim, you did exactly what you were supposed to do as a big brother. You pushed me, you made me tough, and you usually made me chase the ball into the side yard when you blocked my shot. So, thank you. Deke, the best coach I've ever had. You made me love the game of basketball. I wasn't even going to play in high school, but he talked me into trying out. So, I'm glad you did. Your style of coaching with discipline and encouragement not only made me a successful basketball player, but made me the person I am today, and I'm forever grateful for that. You spent countless hours, not only with me, but also my teammates, making this team a family. These are the things that I remember. Piling into your navy blue minivan, jamming to the Pointer Sisters, as we headed to scout other teams, rides home from games. These are all special memories for me. Or it could have been spending time in the cage. When Deke hired on, he didn't have a coach's office, so he took an area that was literally a cage. It protected the assets of Anderson High School. So he moved all the junk out of it, and he moved in a couch and a TV and a coach's desk and a homework desk, and it became our family room. And I believe spending all this time together is what made us such a good team. Sorry. Tonight's been a little bittersweet for me. I lost my mom in February, and it's been the hardest thing I've ever had to endure. She was so excited when the announcement came out that I was to be inducted into the 2025 class. I don't know, and she'd be mad if she were here and heard this, but I share the fact that she was actually inducted into the Indiana Golf Hall of Fame a number of years ago, so it's pretty cool. But she was my biggest fan, always there to support me. Like so many of you with your moms and dads, the support was endless. She was selfless, and rarely did she miss a game, even when we traveled in college. Rides to and from practices, meals, game, late night meals, late night rides home. DT never ended practice early, by the way. Willie. She was always there. So, Mom, even though you're not here in body, I know you are in spirit. Thank you.
Oh, don't forget that.
Don't fall off the back.
I won't. That's pretty good advice for me. And she has a sense of humor, too. We like that very much. The next inductee is someone that I read her stats, and I knew something about her because when I was first doing basketball games, I remember her well. She was one of the official big girls. You didn't push her around, and she knew how the game was to be played. Megan Boguslavsky of Michigan City, Elston. Megan was a 3-year, yeah, you can do that if you like. Megan was a 3-year captain. Megan averaged 23.3 points a game and 18.1 rebounds a game, helping Michigan City Elston to 2 sectional titles, 1 Northern Indiana Conference championship, and her school record of 26 rebounds during her career, and earning an All-MAC honor on top of it. She owns a school season field goal percentage record, shares the record for rebounds. She was a member of the 2017 Silver Anniversary Team, and in 2011 has worked for GAF Materials Corporation. She was one of the original great big people of basketball. And you know, that was always funny because I could say that and nobody would ever complain about it. When my broadcast sponsor, who's a man, said that, some woman came up and hit her over the head with her purse. Don't call my girl big. In this case, it's a big compliment. Megan, we're happy to induct you into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. There you go.
I look like I'm small. But you could play.
You could play. You sure could.
Hello, good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to the other inductees and also congratulations to the Silver Anniversary team. Thank you to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame for this induction. It's a great honor. Before I forget, I have to give a special shout out to my little 8-year-old niece, Macy, who could not make it tonight, but I know when she sees this, she'll be excited that I said hi to her. She's my favorite, and I love her to death. When I received the phone call that I was going to get inducted, I was definitely a bit shocked. I mean, you know, you try to work hard and you play the game your whole life, and you try to be as good as you can be, AKA a legend in your own mind, like I know a lot of us think we were. But, you know, when you get an honor like this, it just clarifies that all of your hard work and dedication, you know, definitely was worth it. I'd like to thank all my teammates, high school and college, my coaches. My coach, Donnie Thomas, who unfortunately has passed on. He was like a second father to me. He was always there for me, pushing me to be a better person, not only at basketball, but life, and to always give back. I'm truly grateful for this honor, and thank you so much. Yeah, my little niece.
Okay, thank you, Megan, very much. Now we all know that we need a girl the size of Megan to be successful in basketball. It's amazing when you see them, when you stand next to them. You don't think they're very big until you stand next to them. And then you do, and you think, either I've shrunk over the years, which is possible, or they're really big. But what a tribute to hard work. All those girls that went out and were told for years, now be nice, and then we tell them, go and rip their heads off. They have to learn a whole new language. Melina Griffith from Anderson. She totaled 1,274 points and an overall record of 62-21 during her 4-year career. She was a 1992 Indiana All-Star, averaging 15.8 points per game, although just playing 13 games due to a knee injury. After Anderson, Griffin went on to Purdue to help the Boilermakers go to an 89-35 record while she was there. Standing ninth in the, yes, you can do that. Standing ninth in the career of three-point accuracy, she was team captain as a senior and entered the 1996 Ruth Jones Memorial Award as one of the recipients. She won a bronze medal at the 1993 U.S. Olympia Festival. And since 2010, Griffin has worked for Aspire Indiana Health. For induction, Melina Griffin.
Good evening, everyone. Well, since Sarah took some of my minutes, and I know Kelly's going to take my other minutes, I'm going to be real short and sweet. Okay. Yeah. Got you. So I'm honored, humbled, thrilled to be an inductee to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm fortunate to be a part of this remarkable 2025 class while celebrating 50 years of Indiana girls basketball. Basketball has been an integral part of my life since childhood. From shooting hoops in the driveway, playing for esteemed programs, the game has been more than just a sport. It's taught me valuable lessons about teamwork, dedication, perseverance, and unwavering support of a community that shares the passion of basketball. I extend my congratulations to the Silver Anniversary team, to the other inductees. I'm also grateful for the selection committee for recognizing me with this wonderful honor. The phone call will never be one that I will ever forget. I want to express my deepest appreciation to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame for organizing and executing a fantastic event to celebrate us tonight. Thank you, Pat McGee and Ron Hunt, for covering the Hall of Fame induction announcements. If I could do it over again, I wouldn't change the teammates that I played with, the programs I represented, and the coaches that challenged me or yelled at me, one or the other. I'm grateful to have a privilege to play with some of the talented teammates in AAU, high school basketball, and college. We've shared countless practices, victories, defeats, laughs, unforgettable memories. Each and every one of you hold a special place in my heart. And a few of them are here. High school, Danielle, Sarah, congratulations. Stephanie White, Yakari Figs, Jane Calhoun, I know we didn't play, but you've always been a teammate to me. Cindy Lamping, Shannon, Glenn. I love you guys. To my coaches, who have not only been my basketball mentors, but also life role models, I am eternally grateful for your guidance and support. Beyond the basketball court, you taught me invaluable lessons about discipline and hard work, shaping me into the person I am today. Lady Netters, if anybody know about push-ups, DT, Donald Turner will have you do them anywhere. But I appreciate that, DT. Anderson High School, Deke Weaver, stomped a shoe on the floor. And Purdue University, Lynn Dunn. Thank you. To my friends and family, thank you for the encouragement, the sacrifices, the support throughout my journey. To my siblings, one here today, Davina, and my brother, he's not here. He lives in Texas. And then my nephew for watching one game 3,000 times. Taught him the game of basketball. But I'm thankful for everything you guys have done and sacrificed. And to the ones that have the best seat in the house, my teammate from Anderson High School, Angie Cotton Dearman, Coach Lavelle Wilkerson, and my parents, May and Roy Griffin. I know they're looking down, and they did a lot. Thank you. This induction is not just to recognize me as an individual, my accomplishments. It is a testament of the power of teamwork, the importance of mentorship, and the enduring legacy of the game in our state. I am honored to be a part of this esteemed basketball tradition, and I will cherish this for the rest of my life. Thank you again.
Everybody has their own fan base. And you made it back without falling off the stage. Thank you very much. That was a good thing. The next girl or woman that I'm going to introduce to you, I saw play early, and at that time, all of us have a nose for basketball. We know when we see something good, and I knew that only the best was ahead for her lifetime as long as she wanted to play for Kelly Kamara. Lake Central High School. 1998 Indiana Miss Basketball, Gatorade Player of the Year. Kamara led Lake Central on a 26-1 record and the Class 4A runner-up. In 4 seasons, she scored 1,478 points, earning 4 sectionals, 3 regionals, and 2 semi-state crowns. The 1998 Indiana All-Star also was a Nike All-American, a WBCA All-American, a Parade Magazine All-American, a USA Today First Team All-USA, and then she went on to Purdue. And after that, she totaled 1,266 points there, helping them to 3 Big Ten regular season titles and a 1999 NCAA National Championship. And on top of that, a 2001 national runner-up finish. Kamara has been a collegiate coach since 2004, currently an assistant coach at Purdue. Kelly Kamara.
Thank you so much. I would have had 2,000 points, but I had to pass it to Steph, and she shot it all the time, so. I'm just kidding, Steph. It was actually Kari. Y'all, this is so much fun. I feel like, and we were talking up here, I feel like this is more of a reunion than it is an induction. So I'm just so happy to see so many people. Melina and I were just talking about the past and all the Purdue tables that are here. Thank you so much for being here. This is just such a fun night. I'm truly honored, honestly humbled, and absolutely thrilled to be inducted in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. First, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame and the Primo Banquet Hall. Your ranch dressing was fire. I love me some ranch, and that was so good. So well done, Primo. Thank you to everyone who supported my nomination, the selection committee for awarding me this great honor. To my fellow inductees, Silver Anniversary team, along with all others inducted tonight, I'm honored to share this stage with you, and congratulations to you all. I wanted to bring up something, Melina, and, everybody in here stands on the shoulders of somebody else. We all didn't do it ourselves, and we won 99 because of 94. Because of the team that went in 94 allowed us to win in 99. And I just want to give recognition to that 94 Purdue team. Melina and everybody that represented 94. A couple years ago, Tom Brady was inducted in the Patriots Hall of Fame, and he said something that really resonated with me. I wanted to share it with you tonight. He said, "You don't have to be great to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and work really hard." I had 3 people in my life that showed me that path. And the first one, my dad. 50 years that man coached high school football in the state of Indiana. Y'all give it up for my dad. One of the most consistent people I've ever met in my life. I have a 94-year-old grandmother. She's still alive today. She was a trailblazer. She went from being an Avon representative to the circle of excellence in the world of Avon. She sat at tables that women weren't even allowed to sit at back then. She was determined to have a voice, and she did. She represented a trailblazing generation that right now it wouldn't be possible for my mom or for me to be where we are today. So thank you to my grandmother. And last, really, really hard worker. I've never met anybody in my life that works as hard as my mother. The owner, CEO, a business guru. If y'all want to start up a business, my mom's here. Get her business card. She'll help you. Owner and operator of Patty's All-American Gymnastics for over 50 years up in the region. That's what we call it, the region. Yeah, the region. Self-taught life learner. Just one of the greatest hardworking women I've ever met. Thank you to my mom for that. I have some really fun people here today, and I want to make sure I honor them. First and foremost, my high school coaches, Tom Medjessy, the Hall of Famer. His hair hasn't changed in 30 years. Medj, here he is, see him. And my assistant coach, Scott Freckleton. Medjy took a chance on a freshman point guard. It panned out pretty well for us. But thank you, both of you, for everything you did for me as a high school player. Wouldn't have been anywhere near the player I was without both of you, so thank you so much. My teammates in high school, I had amazing teammates. A lot of them have been inducted into Hall of Fames. One of them's here tonight. I want to thank Katie and Bork for coming today. We're almost undefeated our senior year. Where's Jan Connor? Jan, yeah, thanks, Jan. Jan got us state finals my senior year. But again, thank you to Katie for coming and all my high school teammates for making that possible. I have a couple of college coaches that are here today. I want to recognize Pam Stackhouse, Carrie Cremines. I committed to Purdue to play for Nell Fortner. She went on to coach in the Olympics. I played 1 year for Carolyn Peck, and then 3 years, that's right, and then 3 years for Christy Curry. There were 2 assistant coaches that were in my life for all 4 years, Pam Stackhouse and Carrie Cremines. Have always been just mentors and friends to me, 25 plus years. I hope one day that the players that I coach can say that I had an influence on them the way that they've influenced on me. So thank you, Stack and Carrie, for being here. Where are the Purdue tables? I know the Purdue tables are back there. I've got Christine and Sarah somewhere. I just want to thank everybody here that's from Purdue. Just a special place, obviously, in my heart. Absolute dream to now coach there. And thank you to everybody from Purdue that's here. I've got 2 college teammates that are here. One, Yukari Figs. Kari Figs is back there by Dunn. One of the things that Kari taught me so much was about leadership. And leadership is just so important when it comes to not just being a great teammate, but being a great friend. And I want to thank Kari. I was a freshman. Kari was a senior, for showing me what leadership looks like. So thank you, Kari, for being here. I'm not going to look at her because I probably will cry, but one of my best friends for over, Steph, 30 years? 30 years. Steph and I played against each other in high school twice. She was a Seeger Patriot, and she doesn't know, maybe she knows this. I was number 22 because of Stephanie White. Went on to be a teammate of Steph at Purdue. winning a national championship with her and Kari and Stack and Carrie. But, you know, I don't know if anybody in this room is excited as I am. Y'all, we have Steph back in Indiana. I mean, what a gift. What a gift to have her back. But, you know, we coached together. We've been friends for over 30 years. I tell her all the time, there is no me without you. So thank you, Steph, for your friendship. Thank you for your mentorship. I love you. I have some family here today. I want to make sure I recognize. My brother flew in from Atlanta. Good-looking guy in the tie in the front. It's my brother. Thank him for coming all the way from Atlanta. I've got my East Coast family here, my wife's family, my mother and father-in-law, Patty and Dan, are here. My aunt and uncle, MJ and Buster, are here. They drove all the way from New York to be here. And, of course, I want to thank my little family. So Kennedy and Hudson, can you guys, they're the little boy that was dancing around in front. They're my little guys. One of the coolest things about being in coaching is having your children witness powerful women. And every day they get to witness powerful women. And they see women in positions, and they watch Steph coaching the Fever, and they watch their grandma own a business. It's super important. And so I'm so thankful for my kids to be able to grow up in this time of women's basketball. I want to thank my wife for being here. You know, I tell a lot of stories about when I played, and I think I scored more points every time I told it. I also got taller every time I told the stories. But thanks, Jen, for being here and everything you do. Last, I want to say this, and this is a really cool stat. We tell some of our recruits this. When we won the national championship in 1999, we had 9 players on that roster from the state of Indiana. Y'all, I didn't realize that. 9 women from the state of Indiana on that roster that won the national championship. Last, here's the thing. We have to continue to support women's athletics, whether it's at the high school level, whether it's a high school level, the Hall of Fame, your local college, getting season tickets, going to the Fever games. We have to continue to support each other. Keep moving the needle forward to support women's basketball. Everybody in here is here for a reason. You either love somebody that loves the game or you love the game. Continue to move it forward. It's on a great path right now. Last thing, y'all can help me with this one. In 49 other states, it's just basketball. But this is Indiana. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We were going to do the state tournament one year, and my broadcast partner and I stepped in the elevator, and I turned around, and there was Stephanie White. And Stephanie was doing the assist for, I think you were doing color for TV then, Stephanie. And so I went home and I said, hey, we stepped in the elevator, and we rode the elevator with Stephanie White. But now I can say, hey, I know the Fever coach. She's Stephanie White. Stephanie, thank you. I'm thanking you in advance because I know you're going to come through with everything everybody's hoping for. And I thank you very much for coming back. And Stephanie is always a person that is personable with people, but one of the things about her that I love, she came from a little school, Seeger. She rose to great heights in basketball in Indiana. She's now doing what all of us hope that this girls' basketball thing, we all hope this would happen. We all hope that someday there'd be people waiting in line to get in the door or couldn't wait till it came on TV, actually got paid to play the game. We all hope that. And this is my 50th year, and I am so thankful that I've lived long enough to see it because it is just so much fun. And I know every one of you feel that way here. Our next inductee, Alan Moroska. Mount Vernon, Moroska amassed a record of 398 and 199 with a 66.7 winning percentage. earning a 2002 Class 4A championship in Terre Haute South. In 26 seasons at the helm, he also coached 5 Indiana All-Stars, 9 players who went to play NCAA Division I basketball. His teams won 14 sectionals, 6 regionals, and 1 semi-state title, in addition to the state championship in 2002. His teams also played in the Hall of Fame Classic Tournament in 1998, 2002, and 2007, winning the Classic Championship in 2007. Morosky is one of those individuals that you meet and you like immediately. He was 2 seats down from me, but I liked him right away. An imposing figure and a great guy in basketball that we really pronounce for him now that he is going to be inducted in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Alan? Come on up.
Well, I'm very excited to be here, and as everyone on these 2 tables, none of them got here by themselves, and neither did I. I'm honored. Tom Earlywine was my freshman coach and helped me immensely as I was getting started as a coach. You got another Mount Vernon graduate here. And in 2002, a group of Terre Haute South people drove over to this facility for Pat Rady's induction into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Even though Pat was a boys coach, Pat was invaluable to helping me and my program. And another guy, Mike Saylor, he's deceased. He had such a basketball mind, and he always wanted to help people. Here tonight, I have 2 assistant coaches, Aaron Bird and his lovely wife, Marilyn, and Chad Chrisman. And I have my family here. I have 4 grandkids here, Lucas, Lucy, William, and Hunter. My daughters are here, Megan and Morgan, and my 2 son-in-laws. Now, I'm very objective, and my family loved basketball, and I had a great ex-wife that was helped a lot in basketball, but my daughters did not play basketball. They made up for being short by being slow. And you can challenge them if you want to horse, and they might beat you because they can both shoot. There's so many coaches and players out here that we played against at Terre Haute South. We wanted to play a few of the best schools. I don't believe in playing the best every game. You play the best every game. If you get beat every game, what are you going to learn from that? But at any rate, so Steph beat us 3 times. Stan beat us multiple times. Good old. But at any rate, it was a great career. Had so much fun. My daughters helped in the summer leagues. So sorry, I had an assistant coach. He was one of those great guys. Everybody loved him. His last year teaching, he had a notebook of 182 dad jokes. And the kids couldn't wait to learn what that joke was. But he passed away 2 years ago. He was so instrumental in helping us too. He gave me the best line when we did win the state championship. He said, "Thank them for all the previous coaches that haven't made it." So I don't know how many of you are history buffs, but until 2002, Terre Haute was the largest town not to win a state championship in basketball. And we had some great teams over the years. Gershmar, Garfield, Terre Haute South, but no one ever got over the hump till we did. And really miss him, and we had a good time with it. Now, on a serious note, I know this is not political. I'm not against anybody, but I am definitely for Title IX. And I'm definitely against trans and women's sports. They have no place. Let them do something somewhere else. But Title IX is for us, no one else. Thank you very much.
Dave, I thought years ago, maybe someday I would see you sitting up here. Because for years, I saw you come in and dominate a lot of sectionals and regionals. And you always did it in your quiet, unassuming way. Never stomped your feet, never got real red in the face, just took care of it. You think you did? I never saw it. Maybe I was at the right games, I don't know. Dave Miller of Belmont. In 31 seasons as girls varsity basketball coach, Miller was a .479 and .227. That's a 67.8 winning percentage, with stints at Belmont and Fort Wayne Concordia Lutheran, where he won the Class 3A state title with the cadets in 2010 and in 2012. He won 14 sectionals, 5 regionals, 2 semi-states during that tenure. Miller served as junior all-star assistant coach and the all-star head coach at 2017. In 2012, Miller was named to the NFHS Indiana Coach of the Year for 2012. Certainly one of the greatest coaches that we've had in girls basketball, Dave Miller.
Good evening. I wish to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for this honor. It's truly humbling. Congratulations to all of tonight's inductees. What a blessing to have been able to teach the game of basketball, which was something I had a passion and a love for, and to do it for so many years. Teaching the game, seeing players respond and grow, not just as players, but grow as quality individuals was truly rewarding. I thank God for this blessing and all his blessings which are new each day. To him be the glory. Right out of college, I was called to teach at a small country Lutheran school and to be athletic director. This was in 1975, very beginning of girls basketball, the IHSA in the state. As athletic director, I had to find volunteer coaches to coach the various sports we offered. If I could not find a parent to coach for free, of course, I was responsible to coach that sport myself. I ended up coaching girls basketball because I could not find a parent willing to try to teach something so foreign to most of the girls there. That was okay with me. You see, I was fortunate enough to coach a young girl, Jody Bierman, in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, who would go on to play for Heritage High School and be named Miss Basketball in the state of Indiana in 1983, after winning a state championship and another Final Four appearance. Talk about positive reinforcement in what you're doing. There's so many individuals to recognize and thank because no one goes on this journey or makes this journey alone. Deb, my wife of over 50 years, was a tremendous supporter and encourager for all those years. She never missed a game, keeping stats to help her remain calm and somewhat prevent her from yelling at the refs. She raised our two sons and basically kept our household running smoothly while teaching full-time herself for many of those years. Thank you, Deb. We have two sons, Josh and Jason, daughter-in-law Ashley, and 4 grandchildren, Ezra, Archer, Truman, and Elin. We love them all very much. Thanks to my 2 sisters, Carolyn and Ruth, and to their husbands, Rex and Jim, for being here tonight. Thanks also to several good friends who made the trip. My parents raised my 2 sisters and me in a very loving Christian home. I wish my parents were alive to be here tonight. My dad was instrumental in giving me a love of sports. He would take me to high school basketball games when I was very young, only 8 or 10 maybe, and shoot hoops with me in our barn. I loved it. Thanks, Dad. Thanks to the athletic directors who supported me both at Belmont and Concordia, especially longtime ADs Phyllis Hebel at Belmont and Dean Dorfler at Concordia. Their support and encouragement was appreciated more than they know. I always thought that loyalty, player to player, coach to player, player to coach, and coach to coach were paramount to a program's success. How enjoyable to be in a situation where everyone supports each other, putting others first and working unselfishly. Over my 31 years as a coach, I was blessed to have had so many talented quality coaches whom I truly appreciate and thank so much. Some are here tonight. I especially want to recognize my varsity assistant coaches, Harry Miller, 13 years, Kathy Pusey, 13 years, Greg Rayberg and Greg Friend, 2 and 3 years respectively. And thanks to all the other coaches who meant so much to our programs. And to the players, I truly believe it is so true that before you can be a good player, you must first be a good person. I was privileged to coach so many quality young Christian women. I'm so proud of those players and cherish all the memories. Thank you. Good evening.
Next up for induction is Carolyn Piper, North Knox. I found out more about North Knox this year in the tournament. South Knox? Would you rather be at South Knox? Gotcha. We'll take that. Little misnomer here on my notes. South Knox from 1975 to 1994. She won 209 games during that time span. She also won 3 sectionals, 7 blue chip conference titles in 19 years. She was an assistant coach for the Spartans from 1997 to 2005 and was the West Girls coordinator for the HBCA All-Star Classic. She was named HBCA District 1 Coach of the Year in 1988. She also coached volleyball, girls track, and while at South Knox, the HBCA named its annual girls basketball scholarship honor for her in her name. It's always interesting to see how people affect other people. And Carolyn has been one of those people that's been a difference maker. And we'll congratulate her tonight as we tell you to be inducted in the 2025 inductee for the Indiana High School Basketball Hall of Fame, Carolyn Piper.
Good evening. It's been a great honor, and I'm humbled to be inducted in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank the selection committee, also congratulate my fellow inductees, the silver anniversary team, the officials, special teams being honored tonight, and anyone else that was honored.
I was kind of thinking back as to how I got started being interested in basketball. I dribbled a basketball on the gravel roads, as I think I heard previously tonight. I remember watching Purdue on Channel 4 and Rick Mount, as that was the only basketball game we could pull probably in through the antenna. I also remember playing basketball on Sunday afternoon with the neighborhood boys and falling in love with the game. I didn't get the opportunity to play in high school, so I'm envious of all these people sitting in front of me. I didn't get the opportunity. Sports didn't exist when I was in high school. My first opportunity was playing under Coach Andrea Myers at Vincennes University, and then I got to play under Coach Edie Godleski at Indiana State University. I had some great experiences at both schools, and I even remember guarding Tara Vanderveer when she played for IU. My special basketball bond with my Vincennes teammates and coaches still exists today, as believe it or not, we still get together once a year. I was hired in 1975 to teach and coach at what is 2A South Knox. It's a little rural school. It's located near Vincennes, Indiana. That was the first year of the girls' state tournament, and we hosted the first sectional. I remember how excited our AD was. I also remember going to Hinkle Fieldhouse, seeing Judy Warren, and witnessed that first state tournament. My 19 years of coaching was varsity coaching at South Knox, and it was during the one-class system. It was pretty tough to get out of our sectional. If we did, sometimes we'd run into a powerful Bedford team and get beat. But it was always very close. We made it close. I've watched our program grow over these 50 years, these past 50 years. I've got to see it all. I helped establish a lot of things when I first got there as things were missing. Everything from uniforms, warm-ups, practice times, games, camps, clinics, record books, and even elementary programs were started in my first few years. I've watched it grow into what's become today. And that ended up in a culmination of me being inducted here tonight, our South Knox girls getting to play in the Hall of Fame Classic, and us winning the 2A state title. So I've seen it all. I also helped promote the Hoosier Basketball Coaches Association that was started by Jack Butcher at Lagodi High School. The association was started simply because it wanted to promote basketball players from southern Indiana. We didn't feel like we got much recognition. We weren't in Terre Haute. We weren't in Evansville. He established that. I ended up being on the girls' side of the association, became a girls' coordinator, and we did a lot of recognition, did some clinics, scholarships, and we ran all-star games. So that was a big part of my life also. I would like to thank personally my brother, my nephews, and my family for supporting me here tonight, as well as my friends from Vincennes University. Also, I have several players here, former players that were here to see me be honored tonight. I have teachers and colleagues and friends from South Knox that have all made the trip to come up to see me be honored, so I'm humbled that they made the trip. I'd like to think I had some influence in promoting girls basketball, not only at South Knox, but through my work with the Hoosier Basketball Coaches Association. But being here, honored here tonight, has been a very memorable day. It's a day I'll never forget, and I thank you.
The Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame would like to now induct Chris Booker Rastelli. Fort Wayne Snyder. Rastelli scored 1,504 points during her four-year career, averaging 25.7 points per senior year, and earning a 1993 ICGSA third-team All-State, three-time first-team, All-Summit, and a 1993 Team Co-MVP. She then went on to DePaul, scored 1,213 points in her career, and she earned the 1996 Conference Championship and was named Great Midwest Conference Newcomer of the Year. Since 2012, Rosselli has coached basketball at Sacred Heart Elementary and is now a teaching assistant and a soccer coach there as well. A woman of the game in Indiana, Chris Booker Rosselli.
Wow, what an honor to be inducted into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. I would like to thank and express my deepest gratitude to the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me. It truly is a prestigious honor. Congratulations to all the inductees also. I would like to start by thanking my family and friends who traveled here to celebrate with me tonight. You have no idea what it means to me. A huge thank you to my mom, Kathy, who's smiling down from heaven, my dad, Bernie, and my big brother, Brian, for persuading me to play basketball. Quite honestly, I wasn't sure I really wanted to play, but I let them talk me into it. So at 9 years old, I started playing basketball at the Y with boys. I remember my mom telling me a story about the first coach calling and welcoming her son to his team. He talked about the practice times, game times, but again, welcomed her son. She thanked him ever so politely and informed him that she said something to the fact of, I just want you to know that Chris is my daughter. He very reluctantly said, oh. But I think it worked out well for both of us. In addition to encouraging me to play basketball, I would like to thank my parents for always pushing me to strive to be the best, even when I was struggling to believe in myself. Thanks for making sacrifices so that we could travel all over the United States to play basketball. We didn't take family vacations unless it's centered around a sporting event. Thank you to my big brother Brian for allowing me to tag along with you and to play basketball with you and your friends. You were my first coach. He was 2 grades older than I, and I would often look up to him in the stands for help when I wasn't shooting well or playing well. He would have the right advice, whether I needed to get my elbow in or to follow through up higher. He always knew what to do to help me. I was also fortunate enough to be coached by some great basketball coaches, such as Jimmy Howe, who was inducted into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in 2018. Gary Andrews, who was up here earlier, he was inducted tonight again, but also in 2022 as a coach. And Lamar Kilmer, who was inducted into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in 2007. They were all outstanding coaches who also knew how to push me to be the best, and at the same time made playing basketball fun. Whether it was competitive drills or dance parties, they had the perfect combination. During the 5 years that I played AAU basketball, we won a total of 3 national championships. We finished 3rd once and 5th another. We were on our way to a three-peat, but fell slightly short and ended with that 3rd place finish. During that time, I was a two-time AAU All-American. One of those years I didn't even start. So if there are any younger kids out there who think, in the audience, or any of you coaches that have players who think that starting is everything, I'm living proof that it is not. It's not always about who starts, but more so what you do when you're in the game. Finally, I would like to thank my husband, Tony, for encouraging me to coach and supporting me through the crazy schedules. To our 4 daughters, Joey, who is a freshman and runs at Indiana University, Sammy, who is a junior at Warsaw Community High School, Danny, who is in 8th grade, and Frankie, who is in 6th, thank you for allowing me to coach you. Being the coach's kid is not always easy, but I am grateful for the time that we have spent together and the memories we have made. I hope you will always follow your dreams. Thank you for honoring me tonight. It really has been a wonderful evening.
All right, you last two have waited a long time. It's your turn. Three. Okay. You may have to make sure I'm right on that. Because usually at the end I say, did I leave anybody out? We certainly don't want to be doing that. Okay, let's start with the last three. I am right on with you now. Carrie Mount, we did her, right? You're next, Carrie? Put your hand up, Carrie. Good job. You're up next. You ready? I remember when you played, you were a great guard. Warsaw people remember you too. Not fondly, but it's okay. Carrie Mount Royally, that's Holly, Raleigh? Raleigh? Yeah, okay. Carrie Mount Riley, Bedford North Lawrence, helped hand the BNL and led them to a perfect 29-0 record and a state championship as senior in 1991. In 1991, Indiana All-Star and the IHSA Medal Attitude Award winner, she helped the Stars to an overall record of 96-6 during her 4-year career. Mount set BNL records for assists in a game, assists in a season, and steals in a game. She also was named first-team All-State and Academic All-State. She went to Indiana University and played 2 seasons with the Hoosiers, was Academic All-Star and Big Ten, and then in 2005, Rowley started work with Con Dees and Donovan and Con Law Firm in Evansville. So, Carrie, are you an attorney? Boy, I would have been a little bit more careful about this introduction if I'd known you were an attorney. We welcome you so much. We remember you so well, and we honor you tonight. Carrie Mount Rowley. You betcha. Yes.
I said, I remember you. I played you way too many times.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you and I are the same size. I didn't even have to adjust the microphone. It's perfect. What an honor. I am truly grateful to be up here tonight with this amazing group of women and men. Congratulations to all of the honorees. My journey with basketball started when I was in the 2nd grade. I was quite the tomboy, and my mom heard about a kickball league at our local girls' club, so she signed me up. I loved it. When kickball ended, the next league was basketball, so she signed me up for that too. I'll still remember the night before those first tryouts. I'd never really played before, so my dad sat down, he explained the rules to me, he taught me how to dribble, and at the time, no one would have ever believed I would be up here tonight, especially my parents, because I only scored 1 point the entire first season. My parents have been the 2 most influential people in my life, and although neither of them coached me in sports, they coached me in life. They led by example, they taught me to work hard, do the right thing, and give back to others in your community. But there's a lot of other important people in my life who taught me many of these same lessons, and those were the coaches that I had along the way. These individuals had a profound impact on my life and the person I've become. I don't have time to name them all, but here are a few. Billy Browning, he was my neighbor, and technically he never coached me, but he was instrumental in my development as an athlete. From the time I could run, he set up elaborate timed obstacle courses outside the house and inside the house. My mom didn't like those very much. But he was very instrumental in my development, and we played kickball, volleyball, or not volleyball. Well, we did play volleyball over the swing set sometimes. But kickball, wiffle ball, and basketball for years. Don Zolman was the first coach to work with me individually outside of practice. He must have recognized at an early age that height was not going to be one of my talents. So we worked a lot on defense and passing. He also taught me to duct tape rakes to folding chairs in our driveway so I could practice shooting over tall defenders. It was really embarrassing when a car would drive by and those rakes would block one of my shots. Bob Breedlove, who from 5th grade to 8th grade taught us the offense and defense that we would run in high school, and that was fundamental to our success in at the Bedford North Lawrence High School for many, many years. To the many AAU coaches I had, this includes Mike Bullington, Alan Weems, Tom Earlywine, and Pat McKee. I owe a really special thank you to Pat. Pat has remained a lifelong friend, not just to me, but to my family, and he spearheaded my nomination tonight by doing some serious sleuthing through the scrapbooks with newspaper articles that my mom kept when I was in high school. And those scrapbooks would not have been possible without the great sports writers for our local newspaper, Jeff Bartlett, Justin Soklin, and the late Bob Bridge. These three put a spotlight on our team, which fostered the absolutely tremendous support the Bedford community had, not just for the boys' basketball team, but also for the girls. There are other people or other coaches who positively impacted my life, even though they were never coached me directly. So they were either opposing coaches and or coached when I went to summer camp at a kid. Some of these include Indiana's first Miss Basketball, Judy Warren, Rick Marshall, who had me shooting jump shots inside hula hoops that were laid out on the gym floor, and Donna Sullivan, my favorite opposing coach. To this day, Donna ran her own Deflategate. Whenever we played there, the ball did not dribble right. It just didn't. It did not. And Donna will say, it was the minimum allowable pressure. And probably not that voice. I don't think you use that voice, Donna. But whatever it was, the ball did not bounce the same when we were at Seymour. See, she just said it. We took a little air out of the ball. She just said it. And finally, to my outstanding high school coaches, Mr. Spires, Miss Underwood, and Mr. Pritchett. I was truly fortunate to play for them. I believe Mr. Pritchett was one of the best basketball coaches of all time. And yes, a wonderful man. Although he was usually a gentle giant because he was big, his voice could match his size when we needed it. He taught us the importance of hard work and that working together as a team is more important than any individual success. For all of these coaches, I thank you for your time and the positive impact that you had on my life. I also want to thank my high school teammates, not only Marla Inman and Amy Walker, who are already Hall of Famers, and definitely helped pad my assist stats. I would have scored more points if I didn't have to pass it to them all the time. Anyway, but to all of my outstanding high school teammates, too. We shared wonderful memories on and off the court. I'd also like to thank my friends, many of them who are here, and family. This includes the Abbotts, Wadsworths, Jeskowitches, and Steeles, my mother-in-law, Bonnie, and my brother, Carter, and my parents for being my biggest supporters, keeping me grounded and loving me unconditionally. My mom is here, but my dad passed away in October. He would have loved this, but I know he's smiling from heaven. Finally, I'm especially thankful for my husband, Steve, who is my rock, and our son, Max, and our daughter, Sutton, who both make us very proud of the young adults that they've become. In closing, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame for this great honor, including Dr. Phil Eskew, who also had a hand in me being here today. And thank you again to all the coaches who gave their time, guidance, positive support to me and numerous other young women on our journey, not only in basketball, but also in life. Thank you.
Sylvia Spicer, Greencastle, Indiana. Graduating in 1973, Spicer averaged 18.3 points per game in 4 seasons, with a game high of 36 points. She was a leader, rebound, and assists and rebounds, steals for the team that played against her, and even on the 6-player rules. She went on to the Principal College in Illinois, averaging 15 points per game and leading her teams in rebounds, assists, and steals. Spicer established the Spicer Video Productions and founded the Big Fund, which is an After Smile fund to assist individuals who needed financial help to fulfill their dreams. Sylvia Spicer.
thank you to Matt, Kayla, Noah, and others who flawlessly managed this event. It is an unexpected honor at age 70 to be selected to join the ranks of previous notable dreamers like Larry Bird and the class of 2025 inductees. I am grateful for the consideration of my history. Prior to the establishment of Title IX in 1972, my mother and siblings kindly tolerated my athletic antics. But my father, Dr. Harold Spicer, was my coach from the day he first tossed me a ball when I was 1 year old. He celebrated my delight upon catching it, and thereafter encouraged my enthusiasm for participating in multiple sports. Dad believed there were many life lessons that everyone can learn from athletics. During his service as a medic in World War II, he was stationed with the U.S. Marines in the South Pacific. It was there, far away from his Indiana home, that Dad realized playing basketball provided him a sense of identity and self-confidence for improvising and solving problems in life. After coaching university-level basketball in the 1980s, I became a single parent to my newborn son. Multitasking with a young child is never easy. But even then, basketball metaphors unpuzzled our new world as we shot hoops together. Conversations about balance and aiming high became just as much about lessons in the game as they were about how to live our lives. Like my inspirational father, my son Zachary hangs the moon for me as we resolve life's puzzles and hopefully achieve our best efforts. An earnest thank you to international women of history, such as distance runner Jane Robinson, astronaut Sally Ride, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt with her Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and Australian Masters swimmer Dr. Sue Collier, who shared their vision and experience to help others achieve their noble aspirations. The recognition of such distinguished abilities in their era helped promote the rights of all women. Thank you to Amy Metheny, MD, for questioning me about sports and helping me reflect on joys in my life. Basketball has always been a marvelous way for me to have fun while learning from watching the boys. I taught my son how to shoot, rebound, pass, steal, and defend, but never how to keep score. To me, the person who had the most fun honing skills while applying scientific principles was always a winner. Perspective is everything to an alert athlete who chooses to improve her own abilities. No detail of an opponent is ever insignificant. Larry Bird's shot couldn't be stopped by a magical player who could jump higher and anticipate the legend's path. Larry's thought process and perspective were unique to him. I've continued to attempt to play my game, regardless of the opponents in front of me.
To my cinema family and friends who inspired me to believe that dreams aren't dumb. Thank you for proving that dreams build a future freedom. My father anchored in me, a girl, the promise that our family ambitions are important when they bring out the best in each person. Because hope respects the dignity of individual uniqueness, and we all need hope. Thank you to all who attended tonight. And ladies, whenever you have a chance, be proud, especially in Indiana, to elevate yourself and your game when you do it like a lady.
Great advice, huh? When your last name starts with W, you know you've got a long evening. And you've done really well being patient. Lori Castetter Walton, Warren Central High School. Walton was a 1984 state runner-up while totaling 873 points in her career, earning 3 sectionals, 3 regionals, and 1 semi-state title as well. Walton averaged 14.3 points per game and 1.1 rebounds, 11.1 rebounds as well as a senior, and unfortunately missing 5 state tournament games due to injury. She went on to the Indiana State School, where she scored over 1,100 points and grabbed over 500 rebounds in the 1988 Gateway Conference Championship. She was selected to the ISU All-Decade Team in the 1980s, and since 1998, Walton has been the executive director of the Community Hospital East Surgery Center. Busy, huh, Lori? For induction tonight, Lori Castetter Walton.
Good evening, everyone. Wow, what an incredible honor it is to stand here tonight as an inductee into the Indiana Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm beyond grateful for this recognition, and I want to thank the selection committee for including me among this outstanding class of honorees. Basketball has been such a huge part of my life, not just as a game, but as a journey filled with lessons, friendships, and unforgettable moments. Growing up in Indiana, a state where basketball is more than just a sport, I was fortunate to be surrounded by people who pushed me, supported me, and shaped me into the person I am today. Basketball has given me so much more than wins and accolades. It's taught me about teamwork, perseverance, and the power of believing in yourself. It's given me the opportunity to inspire the next generation of athletes, especially young girls who dream of making their mark in this game. To them I say, work hard, stay dedicated, and never let anyone tell you that you cannot achieve something. One of those moments happened over 41 years ago. I was sitting in a meeting with my advisor. She looked me straight in the eye and made it clear she did not believe in me. She did not think I could play basketball and be a nursing major. I was raging mad, furious, honestly. But what I remember even more vividly than my own anger was my mother sitting beside me, calm, steady, and strong. And she asked the simple question that still echoes in my mind to this day. How can she fail if she hasn't been given the chance to try. That moment wasn't just a conversation. It was a spark, a turning point. My advisor, whether she realized it or not, lit a fire in me that day. Her doubt, it didn't stop me. It fueled me. She didn't just question my path. She dared me to prove her wrong. And I did. Every step, every challenge, every win, I didn't just prove her wrong. I built a legacy that says everything that she couldn't see. And if there's one thing that I learned, it's this: the loudest voices of doubt become the greatest motivator. As I stand here today, there are two people who aren't physically with me, but their presence is woven into every step of this journey. My parents. It was my mother's voice that spoke the truth I couldn't yet say for myself. And my father, he was always right behind me, steady and strong, even when the road got tough. They believed in me when it would have been easier not to. They supported me without conditions, without hesitation, and even without letting me forget who I was. So if you see strength in me, know that it started with them. To my coaches, thank you for believing in me, for challenging me, teaching me that success isn't just about talent, it's about heart, discipline, and resilience. Each of you played a role in molding me, not just as a player, but as a leader and a competitor. To my teammates, you are the reason I fell in love with the game. The friendships, the battles on the court, the celebrations, and even the heartbreaking losses. We went through it all together, and I wouldn't trade those memories for anything. For my family, I'm honored to be able to accept this in front of you. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm humbled to be a part of the Hall of Fame, joining so many incredible women who've paved the way. This is a moment that I will cherish forever. Thank you.
Would Leanne be here, Cutshaw from Mount Vernon, the athletic director? Is Leanne? Leanne, are you here? Come ahead up, please. Leanne is the athletic director at Mount Vernon High School, where Sally McGregor Ward played, and they've been a big part of getting us the 2 loving cups that we have on display at the Hall of Fame, and also one of the guys, Ray Kessler, who wrote a book called Lady Champs, has all the games that Mount Vernon played from 1917 to 1930 in it, and how many points were scored and who scored them. And the other thing's a little bit of lost and found. Somebody lost a silver bracelet early.
Yeah, that's me.
I wouldn't know it. Am I known as Amy? Okay. Restart.
Do the induction?
Some go off here.
I want to go.
Okay, what we'd like to do at this time with all the this evening's honorees at this table behind me here, please stand. Also, those who represented the deceased members, will you please stand? Always behind me, right here next to me. Please stand. Let's give everybody a big hand. Our silver anniversary team had great players. And our inductees. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, as president of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome you into permanent enshrinement and induction into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in Newcastle as the class of 2025. This concludes our evening and all the awards. Everybody have a safe trip home, and thank you again for the support of Indiana High School basketball.